Second, Madam Chair.
Thank you. My request is to remove the meeting minutes of November 13th because I didn't see them in there to review. So that needs to be on another agenda. So they were not in diligent.
We're removing November 13th minutes. Got it.
Yeah, I didn't see them in there.
They're not in.
No. All right. So with that modification of the agenda,
they're not on there. Oh.
No. Do my fellow committee members approve the agenda?
Yeah, they're in there. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Next up is the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The media has been properly notified. So we're down to number 3, which is the setting the agenda for the joint SIC board meeting that's on December 7th. Which would be Thursday of this week. So I'll let Robin bring up the draft agenda.
So Kristen has sent out, hold on a second, information to the SICs. And so the response of what they wanted to speak about, 2 people responded back, but out of those were the topics that they wanted to talk about. She wanted, from Wellbrand, she wanted to talk about the school calendar. She said there isn't sufficient breaks integrated through the calendar year. Maintenance issues, but it was specifically to that school. I put it on there because she requested it, but I believe that since that's a specific item that we would take it off. The other person sent in their request. They wanted to talk about equal access to all programs. Examples, dual enrollment, driver's ed, and CTE. They wanted to talk about the growth, specifically in Bluffton and teacher recruitment and retention. So those were the items we got back as feedback.
Okay, so can you scroll up? So first of all, the meeting's going to be, I see 6 to 7:30 at McCracken Middle. Okay, yeah, I couldn't see that. Thank you. And here it says December 8th. So is it the 7th or the 8th? Oh, this is 2022. This is the wrong date.
I'm sorry, it's the 7th. I didn't change that at the top.
Yeah, and change to 23. Yeah, perfect. All right. I have thoughts about these, but why don't I let my colleagues speak first? Angela or Dick, would you like to make any comments about including or not including these? How many should we have? I think that's way too much to try to discuss in a short period of time.
So how's the meeting going to be organized? Is it going to be organized like it was when we were on Hilton Head? How's it going to be organized?
Well, that's what we can decide now.
For rooms, if you want, if we have the ability to break out in small groups and rooms, if that's what you want, or we could stay. We're going to start off in the media center is what they have us.
I think
how do you think is more effective, Angela and Dick?
I think it's better just to have it all at one time because we don't get enough participation by other SICs to have any more than, say, one in a breakout session, 1 or 2. I'd rather have them all together and hear it all at once.
I'm fine with that. And Angela too?
Yeah, okay.
So we'll be in one room.
Okay.
So to just go down this list, I mean, the purpose of an SIC is to improve the school. So I think the top one there, communication from districts to schools, is a good topic.
Yeah.
Because that's a way to improve our schools. The school calendar, this is certainly vetted at the board level, and we're very much within constraints that have been put upon us by state law, and i.e. not starting before the third whatever Monday of August, etc. So, and certainly the board debates that publicly very well before it's decided on. So, I personally don't think that that's probably a good topic, because I don't see how that would improve the school. I think we have our limitations and we can't change those. I don't know. What do you, Dick or Angela, comment about that one?
I agree.
I agree too. That's a topic that needs to be taken off.
Okay. Maintenance issues at one school, I see that is not appropriate. That needs to be addressed with the principal, addressed with the superintendent, the operations staff, etc. Because that wouldn't apply to the other schools. We have to have something that applies to all of the schools.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree too. What are we talking about with growth in Bluffton? I mean, we have tried to tackle that.
Yeah, exactly. As a board.
What else can we do?
I mean, we had committees, we had separate committees, north of the Broad, south of the Broad. We combined them to one. I mean, we've had numerous meetings over that. Okay, thank you, Robin.
Next.
And it really goes back to the first bullet too. It's communication from a district to schools. That can be one of the things that's talked about during the communication piece.
What communication piece are you talking about? Sorry.
Okay, what I'm saying is the schedule can be something that can be addressed as an issue to enhance communication
I gotcha.
from district to schools.
Yeah, perfect. All right.
I have a question.
Mr. Smith, yes.
The last topic that you were just talking about what were y'all just dismissed the one topic. What topic was that?
Growth in
I'll read it
Bluffton.
back to you. It's not on here now.
It was the growth in Bluffton.
The one before that.
Oh, it was maintenance issues at one school only.
I think that's very important, and a very important issue, because what happens is, what we will find out if, as a board, if that's going on in one school, there's a possibility that could be going on throughout the district. And I've been to different schools, and different schools have brought that up. So I think that is a SIC topic that should stay. I do have concern with us not discussing that. I think we should
thank you. Chloe Gordon. Thank you, William.
I'm not done speaking. I'm not.
Madam Chair, I just had one question. When we were at the sessions this weekend, did they not say the start times? The resolution was to put it back at the district?
No, to clarify that, some districts have, I believe it's called a waiver to why they can start at a different time than the third Monday in August. And I spoke with one of the, I believe it was the Georgetown chair.
Okay.
Asking him, well, how did they get their waiver? Because they had a waiver, but he wasn't really sure. He had not been on the board when they had obtained the waiver. Okay. So it's not, we tried, didn't we, Robin, to get a waiver one year, and we did not get it.
Dr. Guads, may I?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So we've got a couple of different calendars that are drafted. There's a modified calendar that's on a draft, and that's going through the process of committees like teachers and administrators and different aspects of the system. And then we're going to put that out on this thing that we have called Bang the Table for community input. And so we will have some community input regarding calendars before we bring it to the board for a decision. But one of those modified calendars has a start date prior to that third
Monday.
So these are things that we've looked at. These are things that we are going to be utilizing in terms of determining the calendar and all of those sorts of things that we're going to get some feedback, because I think we need feedback on this from all aspects of the community. So that's part of the reason for the bang the table component.
So do you think, given what you've just said, Dr. Rodriguez, do you think we should have it as a point of information on this meeting? Or you're giving us that background. So yes, it's premature to have the SIC weigh in.
That's why I'm giving it to you, because it's a little premature
Okay.
still, as the Mary and the committee, works through the final designs and gets feedback from district level stakeholders, school level stakeholders. Then we'll put it on Bang the Table for more community and parent feedback and all of that. So to me, it seems a little premature in terms of the timing.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. So Dr. Rodriguez, I know you're not, can you see the agenda
Yep.
topics?
Yep, I can see it.
Okay. Okay, good. So the next one was equal access to all programs, dual enrollment, driver's ed, and CTE. I mean, you can't have repeat every program at every school. That's not cost prohibitive. So how would you, I mean,
the other issue you have with that one is that when you get into southern Beaufort County at the moment, the challenge is when you've got schools that hit a certain capacity level, opening it up, kids moving back and forth and that sort of thing, you have to be careful. So what the system has done is when schools hit a certain capacity, then the choice programs are essentially closed, right? So that's the challenge we face, is just capacity related issues. Because in northern Beaufort County, where you have capacity, people can go to whichever school based on choice.
This topic came from someone from May River and H.E. McCracken.
Okay. I mean, I think that's within the confines of what ultimately the superintendent and the instructional team with Mary Stratos at the head has to decide, right, how to offer these at the different schools. But just as Dr. Rodriguez has pointed out, there are limitations, especially when you have schools that are at capacity or nearly at capacity. Dick.
Well, I understand the choice issue, but what I don't understand is dual enrollment. Do we not have the capacity for dual enrollment throughout the district? In other words, do we have students that can attend a dual enrollment program at TCL Bluffton?
We do, yes. Dual enrollment is an option for schools and for students.
There is equal access for dual enrollment. How about, and I understand the CTE, that's a space issue, but how about driver's education? Do we not have the ability for driver's education throughout the schools?
I believe we have at all schools. The only issue would be if there's a driver's ed vacancy at one high school. That would be an issue, and I'd have to check on that. But other than that, I believe we have driver's ed at all high schools.
I know, just a comment, I know when my kids were in school, they purposely did not do driver's ed through the school because it would have taken, away from their academic courses. I mean, they purposely went outside the school. And I think there was a limitation as to how many spaces were available. You know, you had to have a class. Well, Chloe could definitely speak to that. Yeah. Is that
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think that's what this question is about.
Mhm.
It's not that we do not have dual enrollment or driver's ed or CTEs. It's the space, it's the limitations, it's when they're offered. Because if you're taking driver's ed the first half, then the second half, you've got to take something else while someone else is waiting to take it during the second half. And
Yeah.
whether or not the students can get into the classes, and they are limited as to how many students they can have per class.
Yeah.
Yes, that is true. Yep.
So I don't see how we could I mean, the public was so generous with passing the bond referendum for enhancing our facilities. I mean, I don't see what else we can do in the immediate foreseeable future to possibly add significant space or programs to each school.
How can I help?
I'm sorry, somebody said something. Okay, so
Want me to keep it on or take it off?
I would take it off because I don't think it's something that we have at this point a way to modify. All right, and the last topic was submitted was teacher recruitment and retention. Well, I'd love to have the answers. Can the SIC give us the answers? What do you think, Dr. R?
Well, I think that what we could do is share components of what we do around recruitment and retention of teachers. But I think it is worthwhile, hearing what suggestions they might have. As long as we understand that we might be we may not be able to implement some of those, but sometimes you get some out of the box thinking that could be really helpful. So I'm open to hearing those suggestions.
Okay, I agree with you. So how about committee members, Dick or Angela? Do you I was thinking probably 3 topics would be reasonable and spend about 20 minutes on each topic. We have 2 so far on this list, so we could come up with a third. Do either of you or Dr. Rodriguez? Yes, Dick.
Yeah, I really think that the topic would be community involvement and volunteerism in the schools.
That'd be perfect.
I agree.
And that's something that potentially could be influenced by our SICs.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So community involvement and volunteerism in our schools, Robin. Thank you. Are you good with that, Dr. R?
Yes, I am.
Could you hear it?
Yes, I'm good with it. Yes.
Okay. And you think I think 3 is reasonable. Otherwise, you can't really get into much of a discussion if there's people in the room.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So I think I would take that off, Robin, because we're going to discuss these at this meeting.
William's hands up.
Sorry.
William's hands up.
Yeah, thank you, William.
Madam Chair, I was trying to understand when I was talking. Could you not hear me a few minutes ago? I know you cut me off. Could you not hear me?
I thought I heard you fine. I thought you made your point.
Okay, but you cut me off in the middle of me speaking. I thought that was very inappropriate and very unprofessional.
Sir, I'm conducting the meeting, and we need to. When you've made your point, I thought you had finished your point. So what's your second point? Go ahead. Tell me your second point. No,
my point is still the same. I think that we will find out that is very much an importance to the people in this community. Our facility, especially when we just went out for a bond referendum that just passed. So I think if the community wants to speak about that, then that's a topic that we should discuss, being that we just passed a bond referendum for the side that we just did.
Well, sir, it doesn't seem that the committee agrees with that. I
So-
noticed neither, let's see, does Carlton or Earl want to make any comments because neither of you have provided input?
No, that's fine with me. Now, the topic for the SICs, there's three items, right?
Right,
And this is going to be at McCracken, you said?
correct.
Okay. All right. Fine. Now
And
I
we're
don't
going to
have,
discuss it all as one group as opposed to break off into
right. That's
like grade levels or
mhm.
geographic regions or whatever. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine with me.
Okay. And Carlton?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair and everybody. These 3 points are real good ones. If I could make a recommendation on the first one, communication from district to schools,
Yes.
I would add in to residents and voters. And then I would flip, as Colonel Geyer mentioned, I would flip it into that third bullet of how can the SICs give us ideas as to how to penetrate the superb efforts being done by the school district into those communities. So that would be, I think that's important that we put the onus on them to help us expand the message.
Yes.
The second thing is I heard a phrase I had not heard before, which is point of information. And so just to cut any people who are throwing flames at us, fire bombs at us, figuratively, not literally, that we are not addressing those issues. Maybe for there were 2 that we struck, but just to note that those, we're working on them or whatever, and these are the 3 that we'll discuss tonight. But we've worked on the others that they've raised so that they know that they're being considered. And those would be my only 2. I think these are 3 great points. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. You know what, I think that's a good suggestion. And under the introduction, I can say that, that we ended up choosing these 3 topics and give an explanation, kind of like what you've just suggested, Carlton. All right, so I don't think we have anything else to do with this agenda, correct, Robin?
So I was going to say we're through with this one.
I believe so. Nobody has
Okay.
made any further suggestions.
Okay.
And then we're on to the board meeting of next week, December 12th, working on that agenda.
Give me a second to pull it
Yeah.
up.
It's getting tired.
December 12th.
That's weird. It won't come up.
Yeah, it's not letting me grab it. Hold on.
Okay.
Let's see. All right, here we go.
All right.
All right.
Thank you. So as I mentioned, this is the December 12th meeting. This one will be at the DESC. And right now we have executive session at 5 and the public session at 6. And we've got our usual disclaimers at the beginning, including the fact that we'll continue on the 13th if we haven't finished the items. So under executive session, we have receipt of legal advice regarding 3 pending legal claims and 1 settled claim. Employment matter, the personnel ratification report, the adult education homeschool report, and the committee recommendation for the new elementary school. We can take that off because I believe that is, according to policy, my responsibility to set that up. So I don't think we've already discussed it, and I believe it was an open session. Thank you.
So it's 5 o'clock good?
It seems like it doesn't. I guess Wendy would be the one to tell us, because it seems like her, the legal stuff is the most on the agenda. I would say let's leave it at 5 and let's
And-
converse with her.
And mine will be brief.
Oh, hey, Wendy. There you
how
are.
No, I'm on. Mine will be brief.
Okay, so I think 5 is good then.
Yeah. Thank you.
Is Gene Matthews giving an update?
Not that I'm aware of. I haven't heard from him. I did text him.
Okay.
I mean, send him an email and MJ, his assistant, but I didn't hear anything from them. So
Okay.
it'll
Right.
just
Not
be
at this
me.
time then.
It'll just be me.
Yep. Perfect.
All right.
All right. So then we're go to the public session. Action is coming out of executive session. Approval of the agenda, the Pledge of Allegiance, the moment of silence, and the statement of media notification. And we have a student performance. Very nice. And is that going to be?
They'll be in person.
In person? Okay. Then we have the points of celebration. I have the Student of the Month, Adult Education Awards, and a Distinguished Service Award. Very nice. Then we have first public comments. Under the chair's report, I will give a report on the SCS update on the SCSBA legislative conference and delegate assembly. Thank you. Yeah, you know, just put the word legislative in there when you get to it. Okay, thank you. All right. So committee reports, we have quite a bit, I know, coming out of committee. Okay, so we have Chloe on here. We have lots of academics recommended motions. So are these going to go on to our consent agenda?
Those don't. Those aren't going on consent.
Okay, all right.
So that's why I put those there, because those need to take board action.
Okay, very good.
Finance and legislative meets tomorrow. So
okay, so we'll know what comes out of there.
Under operations, they had OEs that are on consent agenda.
Okay. Yep. And
today,
policy met today, right?
Policy met today with these recommended motions.
Okay.
And that's where we are for committees.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Angela and Dick, any comments, or that's pretty straightforward?
Good.
Good. Okay. All right.
Under the superintendent's report will be the debt presentation.
By Brian Nurk. Okay.
I'll stop there for anything. Ready for me to keep going?
Yep. Then we go to the board business action.
So under board business, the reason why I have the 24 board meeting calendar, we had to revise it because on November 5th is a presidential election and the district office is closed. So we have to move the board meeting I was moving the board meeting to the following Tuesday, which would be November 12th.
On there, Robin, we already made the motion that half the meetings had to be south of the Broad.
Right.
So that all needs to be outlined on the calendar, is where they are. And
we do have that, but I'm just saying, but we approved having the meeting on November 5th. We need to change that date to November 12th.
I understand.
What I'm saying.
I understand.
But the meetings are equally, they're going to be held at Hilton Head Middle. So once you approve that, then they are equally going back and forth for the business meetings.
All right. And then we potentially have a book appeal, correct?
Potentially. It's a placeholder, it's potential.
Okay. All right.
And then
here are the OEs. Yeah.
They're all on consent agenda.
Okay. All righty.
So that's that.
This looks like, for for the meeting just before the holidays, there's plenty on here for us to take up time. I mean, I personally don't think we should add other stuff on here. It just seems like there's so much already. Carlton?
Yes, ma'am. Madam Chair, under the student performance, the Kwanzaa, is that Kwanzaa or Kwanzaa?
The song of the name of the song is let me make sure I didn't type it wrong. I'll check it and make sure and get the correct whatever the name of the song is.
No problem. Thank you, ma'am.
All right. So Dick and Angela, any desire to add other things to this agenda? No. Okay.
No, ma'am.
All right. So I don't think we need to go through our running list. We do that every time, and we've got plenty on here already. There's lots from the committees. Dr. Rodriguez, do you feel like anything needs to be additionally added to this agenda?
No, I think we got a full agenda there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Robin, is there these are the two, right? You want to go back to what our meeting agenda for today said?
That's it.
Yeah.
It's just these two.
Just those two. Okay.
And then we need to set a date for the January 9th meeting.
Okay.
And I was going to propose it during the week of the 18th, possibly the 21st.
Let's see.
We have technology on the 18th at 3. We have operations on the 19th at 5. We have academics on the 20th at 5. So we don't have anything on the 21st.
The 21st, truthfully, is not good for me.
Okay.
So I would love to have it 18th, 19th, or 20th, and tell me the meeting times currently.
Academics is on the 18th at 3. So if you want to have it at 5 o'clock on the 18th, I mean, not technology, I'm sorry. Technology is on the 18th at 3. So we could do agenda setting at 5.
That would work fine for me. How about Angela or Dick?
Works fine. 18th.
At 5?
Yeah, is that good, Angela?
Yes.
And Dr. Rodriguez?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay, so we'll go for the next agenda setting meeting, which will be for the January.
It will be for January 9th.
Yeah, it's the agenda setting will be via, like we've been doing, Zoom or hybrid.
Yeah.
The 18th at 5 p.m. Perfect. And if there are no objections, we can adjourn by unanimous consent. And thank you to everyone who participated today. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Officers.
Thank you all.
Can you hold up for a little bit, a second?
Yeah.